Hi, and welcome to another ride along with Jim the Car Guy. Today, as you can see, it's actually is a pretty lousy day. It's raining a little bit. We have the windshield wipers on, so I think that may be a little bit of a distraction, but we'll see how that goes. There is a lot of road noise, as you can hear, but we'll try to do the best we can. The reason I'm making this video is it's been a while since I put up one of these ride-alongs, but I wanted to respond to a question that was asked to me by one of my subscribers. They said that by listening to my last video, they said that they got the impression that I would not recommend for somebody to get into the business as being a mechanic or opening up your own shop or anything. I just want to clarify my opinion on that. And I've been in the business for probably 45 years now. It's been a long time. Would I do it again? Yes, I absolutely would. There's no better feeling in the world than to be able to help somebody out when they're having a problem with their car and they can't get it started, and they look to you for the advice of what to do. Is it difficult? It's absolutely difficult. The education is ongoing. The cost of the tools and the equipment is continuous, but like I said, it is a very good feeling when you can help somebody out to get their vehicle started and up and running again when nobody else can figure it out, or when they look to you for help. I'm going to tell you about one of my subscribers one time that when I first started on YouTube, I got an email one time about whatever the situation was. I don't remember the situation. I don't even remember the subscriber's name or anything. But it sticks in my head what he said to me. He sent me an email regarding a problem he had with the vehicle, whether it wouldn't start or wouldn't stop or whatever the case may be, I don't recall. But he says to me, what the problem was going on, and he's had it to a shop and they couldn't figure out exactly what the problem was. So I told him a couple of things to do, and he did check it, and he got back to me a day or two later, and he said to me, no, this is what's going on. And then we went back and forth probably 3 or 4 times, and finally I gave him what I thought my problem or my diagnosis would have been by the information he was giving to me. And I will say it is very difficult to diagnose what a problem is over the telephone or through an email or whatever. A lot of times you need to have your hands on the vehicle and actually working with it to be able to tell what the problem is. But the guy was pretty good, and I went through the whole thing with him, and he seemed very, very appreciative. But the thing that really sticks in my mind is, out of everything he said to me, thank you very much. I do appreciate you taking the time to explain to me what happened and how to correct the problem and get the job running. He said, I'm in a tough place in my life right now. Money's tight. Everything is very difficult, paying the bills and being able to afford to bring the vehicle into a mechanic to have it fixed. And the thing that sticks in my head, what he said to me is that, and he said, the best part is, he says, not that I got the car, not that he got the car running or got the car started and didn't have to bring it to a mechanic and save the money. He said, but the best thing that he was happy for is that in his wife's eyes, that he was a hero, the subscriber was a hero, being able to get the car started and running so they could get back to their everyday routine of what they needed to do in a particular day. And I thought that was very nice. Not that his wife thought that anybody else was a hero, but it was the husband who was the hero, because he was able to get the car running and get the car started and back on the road. And my response back to him was that he did a great job. It was really being able to get the car fixed and everything. I said, but if you want to be a real hero, take your wife out to dinner tonight to celebrate that you got your car back on the road. But that's one thing that always stuck in my mind about being able to help people out. And to this day, and anybody who's on YouTube and any one of my friends on there will tell you too, that is a very good feeling, being able to help people out. Unfortunately, you can't do it all the time, because we do get probably thousands of emails every day. It's just certain ones that stick in your mind that you're able to help out and help them through getting their vehicle started. Okay, the thing is that if you are going to be a mechanic and you're going to get into the mechanical field, you have to decide whether you're going to be working for a dealership or you're going to be working independently in a small shop. I would recommend that anybody who's getting into the business would look into possibly working at a dealership first, because working for an independent shop, especially a small independent shop, you're only going to learn what that owner of the shop or the other mechanics in the shop are able to teach you. With a dealership, when you're with a dealer and you're there for a while, at least they have the ongoing education that you can take advantage of, where you can actually continue your education, continue to learn. Even though you may think that you're not making a lot of money at a dealership, you will be able to get that education that is going to be very important when and if you do decide to go to work for a smaller shop, or even if you decide to open up an independent shop yourself. I will tell you this: if you open up an independent shop, it's not as easy as you may think it might be. There's just a ton of stuff that's involved with opening up a shop, and you'll see in my previous video I did explain about the cost that is involved with opening up your shop or your own. So if you're going to get into the business, don't think that you're just going to open up a shop and get a couple of tools and you're going to be all set. That's going to be continuing education, whether you work for somebody or you work for a dealership or yourself or whatever. It's going to be a continuing process. And as far as tools are going to be constantly evolving. You're not going to be able to just buy a certain amount of tools today, and for the next 10, 20 years down the road, you're going to be set and you don't have to worry about going out and buying more tools. You are going to have to dedicate a certain percentage of whatever you make to reinvesting into new tools, new diagnostic equipment. There is just a multitude of different factors that are involved with staying current in today's market. You could open up a shop and you could do just regular repairs, but the problem is that you need to stay current and learn and evolve as cars evolve as well. Because the procedure on mostly everything is going to change. It's not going to stay exactly the same. It's definitely going to wind up changing, and you'll have to keep up with the times, so you will need to have additional equipment. Now, I know we talked on a previous video about not becoming a fly-by-night shop, or a shop that's going to do anything what I call halfway or half, you know what. You don't want to be known as a shop that does work like that. As I mentioned in a previous video, is that I have certain shops that the vehicles will come into me. I could take a look at them and I know right away what shop did this job and how they screwed the job up, and the quality of their work. They don't care what the job is going to turn out like. All they care about is change this part and change that part and change the other part, and most of the time it will not save the customer any money. It's just going to wind up costing them more money in the long run, because you're just changing a bunch of parts and you may not even have a clue is really what the problem is. All right, so give me some suggestions of what you would like these ride-alongs to be to talk about, and I'll try to do one, maybe one a month or something like that, so we can talk about of the different things. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.